Hello there, Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome to my stamp studio here in Eagle, Idaho, and another crafty video. Today I am collaborating with my friend Jen Hartsgrove of Katahdin Krafts, and we did a mystery swap. So she sent me some miscellaneous things in the mail, paper, like parts and pieces of a future card, and I did the same for her. So you're gonna see me unveil the things that she sent to me and make a card with them. Then you're gonna see me show you the things I sent to her, and I'm gonna make a card with those as well. Then you can check out her video doing the same thing. So it's kind of a mystery swap and card making and just seeing what two different people make with the same supplies. Okay, let's get started. Let's take a look at the things that Jen sent me. I was so excited to open this package and see what I was going to create with. It's so fun, even if it's just something little, to get happy mail. I love it. And I love to send it too. So I was excited to send her a package. So I got these die cut frames I thought were super cool, and I knew I would definitely use one of those. Jen said that she sent me a lot of things so I would have choices. So I did not use all of the things, but I kind of chose from this assortment of die cuts. So I have a lot of cupcake die cuts, and I have choices of glitter paper or plain paper, and she sent me all the squares from the die cut frame. I believe they're from there. And I have the die cut word smile, so some super cool things, some twine, just a lot to play with, and that just helps creativity, I think, be a little bit easier. All right, so to start my card, I am going to watercolor a background. I'm using my Arteza watercolors, and I'm just wetting the colors that I'm going to use. I'm going to make a rainbow because I love them. You probably see a lot of rainbow things here. I love bright colors, so I'm going to just dab the color on. I wanted this to be a little bit more free-flowing than like perfectly straight lines. So I was going to start my rainbow with pink, and then I thought, oh, let's put some purple at the top. So that's what I'm doing there. And then when I bring in the orange, I think I still had a little purple on my brush, so it gets a little bit muddy, and it's just not quite the bright, bright orange I want. So I moved over to the next color, and that was a little bit brighter and much better. And then I thought I needed to brighten up that pink a little bit, so I grabbed some more of that and dabbed it in. And I'll just continue dabbing in the colors, letting them bleed into each other and create this rainbow effect on my watercolor paper. The next color is such a fun bright green. I love it, but then I also love the color next to it, so I had to put in both. Like, the next one is kind of an emerald green, almost teal, and I just loved it. I love that color, so I had to put that in too. And then we'll fade that into the blue, and that will complete this rainbow background. I have the paper towel there so I can pick up any of those puddles of paint that collect on the edge where I always start. I heat set that, and when it was partially dry, I brought in my distress sprayer full of water and spritzed that down just to get some white splatter on there, and then I don't pick that up. I just leave it and continue to heat set it. Now I'm going to add colored splatter. These are silks from Fun Stamper's Journey, which is a product line that is sold at the Spellbinder shop, and I got out a rainbow assortment of these silks. I have a lot of them. I love them a lot, and I'm going to just block off each color section and splatter it with a coordinating color. So I have Cosmic Grape here. I'm putting on that purple color, and then I'll move my masks down and just continue to splatter on each section. I'm just showing you a few here, and I did periodically heat set that before I moved on to the next color so that I didn't smear it too much with my little masks I have going on there. And then I'll finish that off on the blue section with some beach ball. All of these have shimmer in them, so when you turn them in the light, not only do you get the color, but you get the shimmer. So I really love the look of this. And when you're going to be putting stuff on top of a background, so much stuff like I am, it's okay to kind of make that background busy because so much of it is going to be covered. So Now I am putting the window sheet to the back of the white frame using Tombow Mono liquid glue, and I'll set that aside to dry and work on my cupcake top. So these sprinkles that are still attached to the glitter paper, or they're still nested in there, I put some glue on the back of it, the same Tombow Mono liquid glue. I smeared it around with my finger and let it dry for just a second. And now I'm able to push those out of the paper and press them onto this cupcake top with my paper piercing tool, my bloom tool it's called, and then I can have my sprinkles attached to my cupcake very easily. And now I'm going to use foam strips to create an outer frame on this panel. And then I'm also going to take the same foam tape and create another reservoir in the center. So this shaker card is going to have 2 different shakers in it, one around the outside and one on the inside. So I'm going to use 2 different things in this shaker, if that makes sense. So I want to make sure I really use my anti-static powder tool around the edges of that foam tape so nothing sticks. So in the center here, I have some heart sprinkles, like the kind of sprinkles you would put on a cupcake. So that's going to go in the center, and then around the edge, I'm going to use these diamond cuts. I'm going to use some glitter, and I'm going to use some sparkle cuts, a chunkier glitter that's more iridescent. I'll mix all of those together in my little dish, and then I'm going to put those on the outside edge for my shaker card. And I'm just spooning them in. It's kind of like, I don't know, brownie batter. Just as yummy, just not edible. Right? I love glitter, so this was so much fun to just go crazy and put a ton of glitter in there. I'll remove the backing and reveal the sticky edge very carefully so none of the things jump up and stick to it. And then I can attach my rainbow background. I'll press that into place so nothing can accidentally escape. And there is my double shaker card. I think it's so cool. I love it. All right, so in the center, I'm going to adhere all the little pieces to make a cupcake. So I have a glittery cupcake liner, then I have my cupcake top, and a cherry that I'm putting on all with foam squares. Cute. All right, so then we're going to bring in the sentiment, smile, and you'll see I have a little dot of paint or that silk on my frame, so I covered it up with the word smile. I'm going to let that dry, and while that's doing its thing, we'll go ahead and stamp a sentiment. It says, "It's your birthday." I got that from a Lawn Fawn stamp set that is life. It's a beach one. It's a newer, I'm going to put it on the screen. I don't remember the name of it. On the beach. Oh, mercy. Anyways, I did that on some pink cardstock and embossed it with white, and I trimmed it down with my scissors to fit in this little spot right below the word smile. So it says, "Smile, it's your birthday." So I'm using some double stick tape and laying that down right below the word smile. So cute. All right, now I had some extra silver paper, so I punched out 3 little hearts, and I will adhere those right above the cupcake. So we have more glitter. I love the glitter paper. So cool, Jen. Thank you. Love all the things that you sent me. And we'll just glue those into place so there's a little more interest going on at the top of the card. And you may notice that a lot of that glitter is sticking to the window sheet, but don't let that stop you from putting glitter in your shaker cards, because over time the static dies down inside that shaker and the glitter will settle and it won't stick to that window sheet so much. So don't be afraid to throw some glitter in when you're making a shaker card. All right, we'll let that dry onto the card base, and then once that's dry, I was playing around with using this red and white twine. I thought it was too busy on the cupcake, and then I tied some around the top. I wasn't sure. You let me know if you like the twine and where you like it. And I would love to know your thoughts because I just could not decide. So that is card number 1. And now let's take a look at the things that I sent Jen. I sent her a crocheted flower that my friend made. I had 2 of them, so she got 1. I kept 1. I have these popsicle die cuts. They're actually things I created in my Silhouette studio and die cut out using my Silhouette. I have some textured cardstock left over from a Spellbinders kit, and then gel press prints to match each of those colors of cardstock, and some wooden sticks. I also sent her a assortment of rainbow drops, and I love these things so much, so I had to send them. Okay, so this is the print that I'm going to use. I love that it has a little hint of text in the background. And I'm also going to use sparkle silk. So another silk, this one has no color, just sparkle. So I put that all over to add to this background. I'll let that dry. And while that's drying, I die cut a frame with my yellow textured cardstock. And I went ahead and started removing these backings to my double stick tape and remembered right here that I wanted to stamp and emboss a sentiment on the frame. So I took the backing to some foam squares. I always keep the empty ones for such times as these, and stamped happy birthday across the bottom. Also from a Lawn Fun sentiment stamp set. And I will emboss that with white powder. I love the look of the white embossing on yellow. And then I was able to go ahead and add my window sheet to the back because I figured why not create another shaker card. So we're putting the foam tape all the way around so none of my shaker elements can escape. And since I had edible sprinkles in the first card, I thought, why not do that for the second card? These sprinkles really go with that chocolate drizzle piece that can go over the top of my popsicle. So I really put a lot in there, not too much, but a lot. And then I secured my background in place, and now I can put my little popsicle together. There's that chocolate drizzle I'm gluing down. And then on the back, I drew a little, like a bite mark, like somebody took a bite of this, and then I'll just cut that out with my scissors because a bite doesn't have to be perfect. Like, you don't need a punch or a die for that. Although you could use a scallop circle if you were too nervous about drawing on there, because I know I get nervous about such things. So feel free to use a scallop circle whenever you need a bite taken out of something paper. All right, I have some foam squares here I'm putting around my stick. I didn't glue the stick to the paper. I just wanted to use it as a guide. I'm actually going to glue the stick right to that window sheet. So with that Tombow mono liquid glue, that stuff is my favorite glue. And it smells good, but don't sniff it. No. Okay, with the scrap left over from my yellow cardstock, I'm die cutting Your Sweet. And then I'll show you the technique I used on the sprinkles, where you put the glue on, you kind of smear it into place, let it dry for just a second, wipe your finger off on a baby wipe, and then I'm going to use that all in one piece to lay this onto my card and get it stuck on so it's not wonky. These are such thin sentiment strips that you kind of need a little technique to help you. So I'll just peel away the excess now, and I did get it going downhill a tiny bit, but I went with it. Did I lose a little sleep over it being crooked? A little, but I'll get over it. I'll be fine. It'll be all right. Whew. Okay, so now we'll glue that down to the card base and add our popsicle right over the top of that stick. We know it fits, and I'll add some embellishments. First up is the Wink of Stella I used to just make that chocolate drizzle be a little bit more shiny, and, you know, sparkle and glitter never hurts my feelings. So we'll add that. And then I used my gel pen just to add a little white highlight to the side of this popsicle. And the rainbow drops. Now these are a little bit transparent, so when you stick them down, they're going to pick up the color that's behind them. So these red rainbow drops, for instance, being on a background that's white with a little bit of pink, they look more pink than red, which is what I love about them, because you don't have to have the exact matching colors. You have a rainbow assortment and you can really put them with anything. So there is my card. I, at this point, decided I wanted the little twine bow, but then I felt like the red didn't go. I really wanted to use that twine, but it did inspire me to pull out my own white twine and add that to the stick of my popsicle with a glue dot. I like to roll it up like a little burrito and stick it down where I want my bow to be, and then I press that tiny little bow right into that glue dot. And now, do you think it's funny that Jen and I both sent each other cards that have stuff to make cards that are sweet? Like sweet edible things. I think that's so funny. All right, so I cannot wait to see what Jen made with these things. We both sent each other lots of options, so her cards could be completely different than mine. So I will have a link to her video below so you can make sure and check that out. You can also see these things on my blog, and all the things I've used to make the cards are listed and linked for you in the description box below. Thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to subscribe if you're new here. I will see you again very soon. Happy stamping! Bye!